What's up, scrappy peeps? It's Adele from Inkie Quill, and I'm up with a little bite and try video for you today where I have a haul of various Pinkfresh goodies, all embellishment stickers, ephemera, puffy stickers, and I'm going to be using them for a double Project Life video. So this is a bit of a longer, chattier video. I thought it's the week before Christmas, give you a bit of an extra long video today. This is the only non-Pinkfresh thing, I think, and that was a random sticker sheet that I got a little while ago, and it matches really well with the Little You, that's what it was, Little You collection from Crepe Paper. It's the Remarks brand. I'm not sure if they're connected to American Crafts, but coordinated really well with the rest of the collection. And somehow it ended up in this little bite and try haul, which is mainly Pinkfresh. It's the odd one out, but that's okay because it works and we make it all coordinate in the end. So I'm working with a 12 by 12 page here and then a double-sided 6 by 12 insert as well. So here's a little looky at the pages. And all of these photos were from the end of 2019 and the very start of 2020. So first up, I've been really trying to use my paper scraps. Peeps, they're accumulating quicker than I can use them. I have to be in the mood to use paper scraps, and I'm trying really hard to not forget about them because it is a bit easy to. Especially when it's so easy to just grab a pre-made card and just go for it. But I'm really trying to use up a mix of, papers and cards so that I can make a dent in some of my scrap papers, especially with the 4x6 pockets. I feel like it's a lot easier to use papers in the 4x6 pockets like I'm doing here. I'm just using that pre-made card as a little template. And a lot of the papers I was working with had a bit of a snowflakey pattern on it. And of course, our December, January is very not snowflakey. None of our weather is snowflakey where I live. I've never seen snow before. So I've got to use them at some point. And I figured that I could sneak that little colourful one in and not draw too much attention to the fact that it was wintry. So for this first one, I've got this paper from, could be an old Crepe Paper pad. And although I love the cameras, they're a little busy on the eyeballs. And my eyeballs just needed some calming down. So I grabbed this black and white polka dot, which is probably one of my top 5 papers of all time. I have used so many sheets of this black and white paper. It's a Cocoa Vanilla one from... Oh, you're testing me on which collection it's from now. Could be Bohemian Dreams. No. It's not a recent collection. Anywho, I know that because I've got a stash of the papers, and whenever I find them, I buy a couple more. Let me know in the comments, actually, do you have a paper that you can think of off the top of your head, which is one of your top 5 of all time? Maybe you've used it a heap of times, or maybe you used it on a layout that was really sentimental for you, or maybe it's still waiting to be used. It's sitting on your shelf, patiently waiting. If you have got one that's sitting on your shelf, patiently waiting, my challenge to you this week is to use it before the end of the year. See if you can make a page with it so that it's in your albums and you can enjoy it instead of just hanging out with the rest of your goodies on your shelves or in your containers or in your Rascog trolleys, because I don't know, I've really been trying to use up my paper lately. When I say lately, I mean the last 2 years. The last 2 years I've really made it a mission to stop saving things for the absolute perfect occasion, and if I like something, to just use it. And I've really enjoyed it. I call them paper crafty highs, and there's some feelings that you get when, say, you finish a sheet of stickers, or you finally end that washi tape roll that has just been going on and on for ages, or you finally find the perfect embellishment to match the theme of a photo that you're working with. I love having that little like woohoo kind of feeling. I've got in my head Sorry, this is very tangent, not on task of the video. But I've got Tigger from Winnie the Pooh in my head, and how he bounces on his tail and he goes, hoo hoo hoo. That's the noise that I make when I get one of these little paper crafty little highs where I, it's a little warm fuzzy feeling. And if you use that piece of paper that you've been hoarding in your stash, you might get a little Tigger, little hoo hoo feeling as well. Or you might not. And I'm just lame in my ways. So for this one, this is just a collage of 2 different photos of Violet. Again, all of the layouts, Project Life layouts that you're seeing at the moment are all around the same time period. So again, we're staying inside a lot. It's hot. It's summer. It was bushfiery. The weather outside was the air quality was shocking. Aaron has bad asthma, so we stayed inside a lot. So there's a lot of indoor baby photos, and I'm very excited because today in the mail I got 450 photos that I just developed, because at the moment, at the time of recording this voiceover, I don't know what it is at the moment, but at the time of recording this voiceover, I'm in lockdown, and not just me, my whole area where I live. And we can't go, none of the retail shops are open, and that's where I usually print my photos. So I ordered through Snapfish, and I must say I'm pretty pleased with the quality. I wouldn't say it was a 10 out of 10, but I'd say it was a solid 7.58 out of 10, and that's a pretty good score, I think, compared to some of the -5 qualities that I've had from some other stores that will remain not mentioned. But yeah, I was quite pleased. So if you're looking for some printing recommendations in Australia, they were pretty good. I ordered some bigger photos too, which will be fun to scrapbook with. So while I've been yammering on about every topic possible, this is of course 4 months sleep regression, which is always a fun time. And so there's a lot of photos of Violet asleep on me because I was trapped. And when you got a sleeping baby, you don't dare move. You daren't move a muscle. And so all I could do was kind of take selfies, which is what's documented in all of these several weeks that I've been putting up lately. But there you go. I love this card. It's just like a really, delicate little card with the embellishments, and I love that little floral cluster there. They were pinky lilac-y colour, and I always associate that colour with violet. Not that it's violet, but it's more of a lilac, but I always like using it when I do photos of her, so I was happy with how that one turned out. This next photo is a little 2x3, and even though they're snowflakes, they don't look as snowflakey because they're not just silver. I find it very hard to use silver snowflake themed things because really there's no other things to use them for except very wintry photos. And we're here in singlets and t-shirts and sunglasses. This one, I've got this little 3D puff. It's a foam. It's got some craft foam behind it, and it says "Love You Forever." So I'm just adding a little tiny bit of label in journaling here on the world's tiniest little label. And then I felt like it needed a dashed border. I was trying to figure out what else I could pop on this card. I don't know. It just didn't really feel done. So I thought, hey, let's pop on a dragonfly. Does it have anything to do with the photo? No. Am I just as terrified as dragonflies as my phobia of butterflies and moths? Yes. I've forgotten to share, dragonflies are also lumped into butterfly and moth phobia. Dragonflies are probably even worse if I must admit it, because their flying is so much more sporadic. The way that they hover and you're like, oh, the dragonfly is all the way over there, and then suddenly, wha-bam, they're hovering right next to you. I'm not a fan. Not a fan of dragonflies. Apologies to anyone who is in the Dragonfly Lover Association who is watching this video. I appreciate you and your individual likes, but they are not for me. This next photo was one of my besties' little girl. and she sent me a picture of her with their dog, and so I wanted to document that one in there as well, just to document, you know, her little happenings. And this was before I'd met her bubs too, so wanted to pop that in the album. I love little puffy clusters of flowers. That's my happy spot. I'm also using a lot of these tiny word stickers from Studio Calico. You'll see those in lots and lots of videos around this time. I'm almost finished the sticker sheet now. Almost. Oh, this next photo on the left. So we woke up in the middle of the night. No, it was just before bed. We went to bed and we were going in to brush our teeth, and there was the world's biggest huntsman in our ensuite. And so this is a photo I snapped while I was hiding, standing on top of the bed because I was terrified. And Aaron is our designated bug dealer with. He has to deal with all the bugs. I don't do bugs, as you've noticed from my ramblings about moths and butterflies and dragonflies. And so I won't lie, it was the longest spider wrangling I've ever witnessed. But the thing was, this huntsman, it was as big as a bread and butter plate, a side plate, and it was very bulbous. It had the largest, I hope it wasn't like it didn't have babies or anything in there, but it was just very bulbous. It was like a wadded up scrunchie. Like its body was just round, and its legs were very long and like uppity. And so, yeah, that had to be documented because that was like a full 45-minute fiasco before bed. And then, of course, we hopped into bed and we were all like, bleh, and we didn't go to sleep for ages because we were too freaked out that its better half was somewhere else, lurking in our room somewhere. The joy of Australia. I promise that I think Australia gets a bad rep for spiders and, you know, killer animals. And I promise not everything's out to get you. At the moment, I don't know if you can hear, but we've got some beautiful rainbow lorikeets and things flying outside. They're nice. They don't lurk in your bedroom at in the middle of the night, so that's good. We do have quite a few not very nice bugs, but it's okay as long as you don't like stick your finger into strange holes you find on the ground and get bitten by a funnel web. You'll be right. You'll be okay. Actually, in the comments, I'd love to know if there's any non-Australian peeps who have visited Australia before. What did you think of it, and what did you like? Did anything shock you before? Or surprise? Oh, surprise and shock's the same thing. But yeah, what did you think of it? I'm always interested to hear about, you know, other countries and their thoughts on Australia. And does it seem like the way that it's interpreted through, or sorry, the way that it's presented through, you know, media and pop culture, is Australia like it is through pop culture? Back on track with the page. So now I missed Joe's hands. I missed it completely. I was too busy rambling. But that's what you get with an Inkie Quill video. So we're up to the 6x12 page protector now. And this was a very sad page to document. This is when we lost little Poppet, and the poor little thing wasn't well. She had some uterine, I forget what that was, bladder stones. I think that's what it was. It was something to do with her bladder, and everything just shut down, and she didn't make it, poor little thing. And I actually took this photo of the two of them a few days before Poppet fell sick, actually, so I was glad that I was able to pop that in. And I just had to use that chipboard piece that looked just like Poppet, even though she would never ever wear a pink bow. She was far too stubborn to ever conform to anyone else's ideas of what she should do. Not that I'd put a pink bow on her, but you know what I mean, peeps. I had a bit of trouble with this pen. I don't know if it was the pen or if it was the paper, but you'll see me struggle in a lot of the doodly borders, and it just, I just could not make it work. So these were some photos that we took at the vet. At this point, we didn't know how ill she was. She hadn't eaten for, I think she hadn't eaten for about 12 or so hours at this point. And bunnies are grazing animals, so they need to, basically constantly be eating, and so that their stomach can continue to digest, because if they stop eating for a prolonged period, it can start to shut down all of their vital organs and things. And so I was glad that Archie was able to say, to spend a bit of time with Pops, and Violet too, of course, but she was a little munchkin then. And so snapped a couple of photos, and yeah, she was very well loved and she was very looked after on her last little day. The vets were absolutely amazing. We had to go to the after hours vet, and we're very lucky that we're probably about half hour away, 40 minutes away from the after hours vet, so it wasn't too big a trip, because surprisingly, and this is something that I didn't know prior to getting rabbits, they're actually classified, I'm not sure if it's just here in Australia or other places too, but they're actually classified as an exotic pet, and you need a special exotic pet vet to examine them and to look after them. And at this point, this was at the time, like I said it before, of the bushfires that were ravaging parts of New South Wales, and a lot of the exotic pet vets from the Central Coast had gone to the affected regions to look after the Australian native wildlife, because there were hundreds and thousands of hurt koalas and wallabies and kangaroos and possums and everything you can possibly think of. And so most of the exotic vets were out there working for volunteering and helping out where they could. So there wasn't actually an exotic vet left on the Central Coast. Luckily, one of the vets, I think, had some experience with rabbits, but wasn't a qualified exotic pet vet. I'm not sure what the proper qualification is there. I'm sure there's a proper word for it. And they said that if Poppet had made it through the night, that she could have had an operation to help, but the earliest that they could have gotten her in was 3 weeks from then, because that was the earliest that any of the exotic vets were going to be back, and there was no way she would have made it 3 weeks. So I'm glad she didn't have to, go through a lot of pain and suffering with that. It was very, very sad. But this photo, let's see, Archie was pulling faces. This is a little snippet from the daycare app that they send home. And I love that little heart sticker. I will admit I was considering hoarding it, but instead of hoarding it, I decided to put it on something that I actually love, so that I can enjoy it in my albums. And then this sticker is from that Remarks little baby sticker set. And I just thought that busy doing nothing was a very appropriate sticker to put there of Violet, because she was just hanging out, having fun, talking to her little friend Foxy. I swear every noisy person is currently going down my street. Sorry if you can hear those cars in the background. But yeah, I thought that was a very appropriate sticker to put there. Again, hey look, it's another photo of Adele with a sleeping baby. Like I said, we didn't do much, and I thought, even though I didn't need to include all of these sleeping baby Adele photos, it really does sum up what my time was. It really does. Jazz hands. I got the final jazz hands in. I didn't talk too much to miss this one. But I hope you've enjoyed this video, and I hope you enjoyed all the tangents. If you're a new follower or a new viewer to this video, don't forget to click subscribe if you enjoy what I'm putting out. I'm not sure if I've told you yet, actually, but I've decided to also extend the video every week for January as well, to say a little thank you for all of your Inkie Quill and Let's Get Inkie support. So instead of alternating weeks of videos, there'll be a video every single week on Sundays, 7 a.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time, on both this channel and Let's Get Inkie. So lots of viewing. And if you want even more, you can have a look at my Patreon. The link's in the description below. There's 400 plus videos over there now. But I hope you have a Merry Christmas. I won't see you until after if you celebrate Christmas. And if you celebrate another special occasion, I hope you are having a fantastic time with that. And I'm talking over my music. I better go. Bye.